Welcome back to the Power Breakfast Show. Of course, we carry on with the newspaper review. My panel now fully constituted. Let me also introduce Honorable Dan Manzo, Member of Parliament Makueni. Welcome to the program. My first question would be to you. What is the plan by NASA in terms of street demonstrations today, in line with that directive by Fred Matiangi yesterday?
Matiangi's directive, first of all, is illegal and unconstitutional. What we should be doing as a minister in charge of security currently is to ensure that there is security while demonstrations take place. But what he has been doing is to disrupt the demonstrations. If you remember the history of this country, during the time of President Kibaki, there were very many demonstrations, but you never saw the police ordered to disrupt them. In fact, I remember one time when President Kibaki was a new president. There was a demonstration by Mungiki in town. They went on and disrupted, and they took their snuff and left the town. And there were nobody was injured. But had the police gone to stop them or to interfere with them, then there would have been a scuffle, and probably people would have been injured. So what I saw during those 10 years of President Kibaki, he allowed people to exercise their constitutional right. They will demonstrate while they are tired.
In 2007, many say that did not happen.
Yes, it did. Throughout, there were no demonstrations, and at the end of the day, people will sit down and talk and sort out matters. So I think that's what the current government should adapt. If you don't bother with them, they will not bother with you. But I also agree that there should be no criminals within demonstration, and in the few are participated.
So will NASA be in the CBD today? Nairobi, Kisumu, Mombasa?
Yes, it will.
Yes, they will. Okay.
Yes, it will.
Is there a plan of how some of the challenges that were witnessed on Wednesday or Monday will be rectified? For example, we've heard of petty criminals, thieves infiltrating these demos. Has the NASA leadership worked out?
Most of those criminals are not part of NASA. They are just intruders. And what our own people should do is to make sure that we have our own young people checking on the ones who are breaking the law, because a demo does not give you an opportunity to break the law, to steal or to rob people. In fact, robbery is a very serious crime, and whoever is arrested should be dealt with. But the police have no business misusing the equipment which should be used to prevent crime, disbanding the demonstration. They should just let them go. Trust me, nothing will go wrong if the police doesn't interfere. It's a work. It's just to make sure that there is security. And if anybody misbehaves, he should just be arrested. And we are ready to do public arrest because it's allowed by the law.
Honorable Orogoro, let me bring you into this discussion now. And I want to talk about police, which is something Honorable Manzo has mentioned. Do Kenyan police know how to manage crowds? And let me give you examples. The UN has a standard guideline for crowd management. It talks about use of force. Part of that strategy includes having uniformed officers, sometimes including marshals, etc., who can, and also a strategy on how to pull out criminals that you spot within groups. Do you think Kenyan police have such strategies? Are they aware of how to police crowds using international standards?
I must agree that we are somewhere, and we are a growing economy, and I must appreciate that you cannot compare any country in Africa with what is happening within the European Union or those Western countries. But we must appreciate that we have our police, and who are doing exemplary a good job. And in this case, I just want to remind you, Wahiga, we are in a country whereby a policeman is treated as if he's not a normal human being. A policeman is just like any other son and daughter of this soil. And with utmost faith, you realize that some of the demonstrators in this country, and particularly NASA demonstrators, they will go to the streets and literally harm, injure, and attack our policemen. In the Western countries, you'll not witness that. You look at a policeman and you'll give them their utmost respect and allow them to do their job. In this country, if one police officer spots a criminal or spots a thug and want to pull them and separate or even take them to the police cell, you realize that the first people who will attack and actually do mob justice on the police officer is none other than the political class and the political leaders leading these young people in the streets. So what I want to say is we must allow the policemen to do their job. We have allowed this NASA team to get their permits and get to the street. We are only telling them, look, any of the NASA supporter in this country, they are well spread in the 47 counties. They do not only dwell in the CBD. They do not only live and do their businesses in CBD. We must respect the people who own businesses in Mombasa, who own businesses in Kisumu, who own businesses in Nakuru, and who own businesses anywhere, by making sure that we protect are Kenyans, also their freedom to enjoy what they have worked for and what they have put their sweat for. And number two, I also wish to quote that they must also remember, let them not tweak that part of article which is so sweet and which pleases NASA. They must appreciate that the public order act is there and is in existence. There is a way they are expected to behave. And these people know the law as they perform. They must also make sure that the people they are working with, they must make them understand there's the rule of law and there's nobody who is above the constitution. Otherwise you cannot just call people, you're going burning down and destroying and looting people's properties, and then you stand, you want to invoke Article 37, it will not work.
Okay.
The police will arrest you, and we will continue insisting as you believe, please keep up people's businesses.
Let me bring in Honorable Adagala as well in terms of this. Do you expect to see NASA moving to court to seek interpretation on CS Matiangi's directive, or will the situation just play out as it currently is, which is NASA saying we are going to the CBD, wapende wasipende, it's our constitutional right?
Yes, NASA will go to court for interpretation of Matiangi because he is infringing in the rights of a Kenyan person. So NASA, we have just to go to court for more interpretation because Matiangi has no right to stop people going to the streets. And as my Mheshimiwa is saying here, that businesses are losing millions. Why are businesses losing millions? NASA we are agreed. The election was stolen. Before election, were NASA people on the streets running before the elections were held? The shambolic election, presidential.
Hold on.
You can see, we are using thugs. There are these funny guys in courts, business fellows. These are thugs who are being sent by Jubilee to come into NASA peaceful demonstrations to cause mayhem so that somebody can think that NASA people are violent. No, we are holding peaceful demos.
Fair enough. Let me then ask you another question. Yes. If you are in CS Matiangi's shoes, he's gotten calls from business leaders saying, find a way to manage this situation. How can you protect our SMEs within the CBD? What would you have done if you were in the CS's shoes yesterday? What pronouncement would you have given?
If I were Matiangi is supposed to serve all the Kenyans and not a particular party, that is Jubilee. If I were him, he should conduct his masters and NASA's demands are met.
Honorable Misha,
thank you. First of all, I congratulate the police of Kenya. I have an experience in Asian continent and European continent where I worked and where I was born. The police, if you demonstrate in Asia, in any country, name any country, there is no demonstration there. They will be beaten very badly and taken somewhere, nobody knows where are they.
Is that something we should aspire to?
No.
Okay.
I'm just
telling us
the question
that we should be like that, I hope.
No, why that? The question was comparing to international standard of our police. So Kenya police is congratulated, and Kenya police is doing very great job with a lot of soberness and with a lot of patience and with a lot of human touch. Number one. Number two is, don't tell me that when somebody is looting, we will just preach him on the road. No. CBD, why we are saying CBD? CBD should be avoided. Because CBD, there is, my friend said, Honorable Attorney Manager, that there is a lot of ways the criminals or intruders are there. And we agreed that. Now, they will escape through different means. So, all these things to prevent. Police is doing their work. We are not police people. We are not secret agents. Police doesn't belong to NASA and Jubilee. They belong to Kenya and Kenyans. Let them continue the good work they are doing. Am I correct? Then, out of 47 counties, why only 3 counties? We have to think about this. Why only 3 counties demonstration? Because there is no way, nobody wants to demonstrate. These are hiring people, 1,000 shilling, 2,000 shilling per game. I'm telling you.
You have the proof? You have the documentation? You have the video footage?
No, we can avail that if necessary, and we know that, of course. But having said that, this is not this is the work for the police again. how to reveal these things, because this is one of the unfair means of election pitfalls, where we should not give these things to encourage violence and chaotic and riots.
Okay, you've made your point. I want to bring in Isaiah here. Just help us with some clarification. If we are saying that NASA can challenge CS Matiangi's directive, Isaiah, what should the CS have done before that declaration or directive yesterday? Should he have gone to court, seek interpretation of whether he can actually use Public Order Act 56, or could he have done that? Would that have given his case weight, so to speak? How do you respond to that, Isaiah?
Yes, Waiga. As I had mentioned earlier, the right to demonstrate is not without borders. It has certain clawbacks, what we may call limitations.
Can you give us some of those limitations right now? And I'm glad Honorable Manzo is here because he'll then respond to you after
the limitations we are looking at under the Public Order Act is the demonstration must be peaceful, and it must the participant in that demonstration must not be armed. Remember, the purpose of demonstration is not to orchestrate violence. The purpose of a demonstration is to present petitions within the confines of the Constitution. Now, Waiga, I want to really inform you that we are not working in uncharted waters. Last year, the now governor of Kiambu and some other MPs moved to court when the opposition was demonstrating on this issue of removing the Isaac Hassan-led commission. And there was the arguments they were fronting then related to the issue of property being damaged, crippling the economy. And the court made it very clear that one, yes, the right to limitation, the right to demonstrate can be limited by the law to an extent whereby that right that you are exercising is touching on the right of the other person. And that is when the court also made the pronouncement, and it is on record, that it is not the duty of the court to draw picket lines and tell you now you are going to demonstrate in the CBD, so long as you are demonstrating on a public space.
Okay.
You are allowed to demonstrate. Now, lastly, on the issue of the powers of Matiangi, the only people under the Public Order Act who are allowed to stop or interfere with demonstrations are the officer that you inform, the police you inform, the officer commanding a police station, for instance, or a police officer above the rank of an inspector. That is the only person who can disperse what we may call unlawful demonstration. But the CS does not have powers either in the Constitution or in the Public Order Act.
So someone else should have been making that particular announcement, not necessarily.
Somebody else ought to have made that announcement, but it should only be made. Remember, when I was starting at the beginning, I said demonstrations are by nature peaceful. All of them normally start peacefully, and the reason why we notify the police is for the police to provide security.
Okay.
Now the problem is when they turn violent, then now it is incumbent upon the police to politely ask the organizers to call off the demonstration, and if they refuse to call off the demonstration, then it will now amount to what we call unlawful assembly, and now they are now mandated by law to proceed and arrest. But you cannot ban demonstration. You can only do it when it is going on. You are allowed to it's an inherent right. You are allowed to demonstrate peacefully.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Isaiah, for giving us that legal perspective devoid of political stance. Honorable Manzo, I can give you a chance to respond.
Yes, I want to say that there are procedures under the law. You see, the right to demonstrate is inherent. But if in the course of a demonstration, the law begins to be broken, and a lot of times it's all that the police in Kenya has mishandled. Though we have very professional police, it's all that the wrong instructions are given for the wrong purpose, or police begin participating in politics. You are supposed to give a proclamation, and then upon expiry of reasonable time, of which now everyone has heard loud and clear that something has gone wrong, it has been identified what it is, And as an advocate, I practice law in this area, and there are many times just before the end of Moi era, I represented a lot of people even for free. A lot of them will be, the courts will release them because they will find out the police did not follow the procedure. What I want to say is that if you don't interfere with the demonstrations as police, I can assure you nothing will go wrong. In fact, the people who are demonstrating will be tired within an hour or two. They will have sent their message and they will leave for their homes.
So the youth we saw, and I think we've been playing some of that footage, running outside a hotel in the CBD, picking sodas, fruits that had been, left outside there by some of the delivery men. They were provoked by police. Is that what
you know, those are thieves and robbers and the criminals, and police should arrest them. Even the public should be able to contain them and arrest them. We cannot entertain crime in this, and most of them we have followed. They are not even from NASA. They are from elsewhere, and the so-called Nairobi businessmen. It is not. I know them. I've had an opportunity to represent these people before in court. Most of them are Mugiki gangs who have been hired by certain politicians, So let other people not interfere with a demonstration which is lawfully being carried on by NASA.
Final question. Honorable Arati hinted on Wednesday that this time round they'll present or provide protesters with bread, milk, something to drink, something to eat. What other plans has NASA put in place, especially on the security side, to ensure that some of the incidents we saw on Wednesday don't happen today? Can NASA do more? Is actually what I'm trying to...
Yes, we have our own security in courts, our own young men to make sure that nobody interferes with the demos. And I'll assure you, one of the days we were in Simbarati's constituency, there were over 100,000 people. And the people were selling their wares. Nobody stole even a single thing. There was no single injury. It was a huge rally. So this is a demonstration. If police had come to interfere, I can assure you a lot would have gone wrong. What I'm requesting is let the police not interfere. Let it stick to its role. But the most important, we should go to the root cause of this. Let the Kenyan politicians sit down and dialogue and get things done right.
Okay, Honorable.
I'm surprised to hear you talk about and quote Honorable Arati's constituency. I mean, what do you expect? These are Baba's followers. You expect them to do their own businesses. I mean, don't you look at the insincerity and the lack of integrity, starting with the leadership of NASA, in making sure that you storm into CBD, where is a cosmopolitan division, and you make sure you come and raid and stop businesses from flowing, because some of these people and majority of the demonstrators have nothing to lose. In this case, that is why we are clearly saying as Jubilee, and even the position of the government, is that if you sincerely want to demonstrate, go to Simba Arati's constituency, go to Kibera, go to anywhere.
How do you know that there are no Jubilee supporters in those areas?
The majority of the supporters who are there, they are the position. I mean, it is they are the major stakeholders in that area. So my assumption is this: please just take those demonstrations at their doorstep. If you want to destroy Tumaini supermarket, let me tell you, we have invested majority of the Kenyans in any other part of this country. The Tumaini supermarket, which was destroyed and brought down, it belongs to a person who does not come from that ethnicity region in Kisumu area.
You have... In this
case, the rest of the Kenyans are so daring.
I have to stop you there. So you're saying that was an intentional act of vandalism?
Yes, it was an intentional act.
Ethnically charged?
Yes.
But we've seen other forms of crisis, chaos in Kisumu and other parts. I don't know how you're...
What is good for the goose? Yes, what is good for the goose is good for the duck. If NASA are so sincere and they want to destroy properties and stop businesses from being conducted in the Republic of Kenya, start at your doorsteps. Destroy what the taxpayers
come in.
Yeah, I just want to tell Mheshimiwa here, not only one ethnic tribe has business in the CBD. We have, all of us, that CBD belongs to all of us. All of us have businesses there. So don't start dividing this CBD, this ethnic tribe, they are the ones running the businesses or not. No. People are aggrieved. Why those demos? Why can't a solution be found? And this solution is political. Why can't the political leaders come together and sit and dialogue?
So that
just give me time. You've talked. The way you are talking is not right. Saying a Simbarati's constituency belongs to NASA. How? that constituency has all the Kenyans in it. Can we go to Dagoretti North and you show me whether everybody in Dagoretti North belongs to NASA?
Wahiga, I want to
Mheshimiwa, what you are saying is not right. You cannot take a wrong or something, force it to become a right. There's something wrong, and this something wrong must be solved for Kenya to live peacefully. We want all our business people to have peace and do their businesses.
What is wrong is that
what we want, don't go to the issue of Baba. Baba will be a president. You have no right
ladies, fair enough.
to throw your tantrums here.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Hang on.
Don't bring your tantrums here.
We need order in studio. Honorable Minister, go ahead.
Now let me tell you one thing. In medical science we say don't treat symptoms, treat the signs. What does that mean? That means we are not talking what is pain. We don't treat pain. Cause of the pain should be treated so that we can treat the disease and heal the person. Now, number one. Number two, if you see NASA's objective from the very beginning, they think the history will repeat. They want to repeat 2007. Let me tell you. Because
who wants to repeat 2007?
NASA. Because
mass action.
Mass action. Let me tell you, please, my dear.
Okay.
Number one, when somebody lost the election miserably, first thing they gave a press statement that we are going for mass action, and it failed. They went to the court. After the verdict, they celebrated, and they thought mass action will be done from Jubilee. But Jubilee was very decent and very patriotic and very peaceful manner. We accepted the verdict just because we love God, people and peace. And then we went for the election. But they thought they wanted to trap us by opposing the verdict. No, we didn't do that. Okay. Then they celebrated. Then they are not bringing all their points at one go. Then the IBC become bad. They wanted to do mass action again. Then today, last day, say IBC is good, another 90 days. They are not talking IBC now. They are talking about 90 days. Let me tell you, this is not accepted by Kenya and Kenyans. And by the way, it is not Jubilee NASA. It is Kenya and Kenyans now. And they know who is doing what. Now, let me tell you, these 6 million votes what they are claiming they got last time, which is there. It will become 1.8 or 1.9 million.
I don't think they're claiming. In fact, they're disputing that result, saying that the election was nullified, so those numbers don't exist.
Why are they running away?
No, why they are running away? Let me tell you, if my dear, if the court never gave the verdict that anybody was lost or anybody was declared illegally or unlawfully or by miscalculation or by manipulation. It was not done there. It was there that there is some few clauses they said, and then as legislature, we went to parliament, we sat down there, we did the alteration and what is amendments, and life continued. And people of Kenya, whole world is observing, looking at Kenya, and Kenyans wanted an election, nothing else. No mass action, no boycott, no going to UK. They want the leaders should be in Kenya and contest the election and win or lose and accept the verdict of the people in the name of God.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. On that sober note, we take a quick break, a power break for sure. The newspaper review carries on the other side of this break. But before that, let me just touch on one or two of your SMSs here. Even as we do that, you don't tell us your name, but you say Matiangi should not interfere with demos in this country at all. Instead, to protect them in their peaceful protest, because it's constitutional. Note, this is free to CS and police walk and be near to the demos, but do not threaten the protesters with tear gas. If they apply force, that's where distraction comes in. Another person says, you don't give us your name, but you say Matiangi has not banned NASA demos. He has just said that they should not take their demos to the CBD. Kemboy from Kaptumo says, yes, it is their right, that is, I believe, to protest and anywhere that is. But where are their rights for those who are doing business? That law should be scrapped because it harms others, vice versa. And those are some of the messages that you're sending us. Keep talking to us, 22422. The hashtag is Power Breakfast at Citizen TV Kenya on Twitter, on Facebook. We will be right back.